Hello and welcome to another video. Today you guys we're doing another redraw kind of. I have these old characters. Their names are Eli and Stefan. You guys might know Eli because I said that she had like 4 different iterations, and then so she currently has a different sort of iteration that I am planning on making into like a book sort of series, and she has a different design now, but this is one of her previous iterations, the one literally before this last iteration of her. You probably don't remember because it's been a hot minute since I've drawn her, but I was looking through some of my old comics on my Procreate app, and I was like, I kind of want to redraw this comic. I redrew it, like the very first panel of it. I'll show the very first panel that I did of the comic here, and then I'll show the redraw of that comic right here. But I redrew that in December of last year, and I was kind of like, I wonder if my style has progressed or my art has progressed at all. And I feel like maybe not. It hasn't really progressed too much, but I do feel like I'm getting a little better at how I want to draw and write comics, sort of kind of, and how I want to panel things out. And so I was like, maybe I'll just go ahead and try and do like the first 4 panels of this comic and turn it into like a comic page, because the way that I was doing comics before, they were just like squares and they were like the full page type thing, if that makes sense. It's like a square sort of format, and then I do want to switch to more of like a manga style of like paneling and stuff and page layout, and so I figured I would just try to just convert it into that sort of thing. So that's what this is. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with you guys. I don't know that I prefer this to the old one. Just because I feel like I really messed up the third panel. I feel like Eli's face looks really fucked up in that panel. I was trying to make them look a little bit younger, just because now I feel like I have maybe the ability to make them look younger. I guess before they did sort of kind of look like teenagers, but also they sort of kind of look like adults. And they're supposed to be teenagers. They're supposed to be like 14, 15 years old, and I'm not sure if my like old way of drawing really conveys them as being that age. They look like maybe older teens, if they look like teens at all. And so I want to make them look younger, and I feel like I don't think I succeeded at that. I feel like they kind of look like chibis in the first panel, and I feel like Stefan, the demon guy, I feel like he looks maybe younger in his, like the second panel of him where he's talking, but I don't think that Eli looks very young at all. And I don't know, I don't like the way her face came out in that that third frame, and honestly I didn't really like this last frame either. I kind of felt like I was going to redo it, but I sort of kind of ran out of time, and so this does have to go up today for you guys, tomorrow for me, but yeah, I ran out of time. I was going to fiddle with it a little bit more, but I would have had to like redraw like the whole face, and I kind of was like, I do want to do it, and I probably will go back and change it now that I'm putting the video up for you guys, but I don't have time to do it today, unfortunately. But yeah, so I'm not 100%. I don't really like it that much better than the old one, I don't think, but I do feel like it is a more interesting sort of like panel layout, because I feel like before the panels were a little bit boring. Like it was like a side view and then like a couple of front views and then a side view and then another 2 front views or whatever and then another side view. I can't remember exactly, but there was a really interesting sort of like different shots or whatever, or paneling, because it wasn't really like a paneled sort of comic really. It's like a comic that you scroll with, like basically like there's like one panel and then you scroll to the next page and it's like a different panel typically, or not typically, basically, right? And so yeah, I don't know. I feel like you still make interesting panels like that and stuff, but I was not doing that. I was being very boring with my paneling. I guess maybe you could say that these paneling is probably a little bit boring, but I feel like I shook it up a little bit. Like it's got some 3/4 view, it's got some front facing, it's got some side view, you know what I mean? So it's like I mixed it up just a little bit. What I was thinking about though is that after I finished this, I was like, I feel like Stefan, the way that panels go, right, is that there's the first panel with the dialogue, Stefan talks, and then Eli talks, and then Stefan talks again, but he's in like when those little triangle ones. I feel like if I'd flipped them, it would have made more sense, if that makes sense. Basically, instead of the diagonal going from left to right, it should have been going right to left, and then he should have been in the right panel instead of the left, in the left side panel, so the right side panel, just because it would have lined up better with the way that they're positioned, because initially in the very first frame she's on the right side and he's on the left side, but then when I do the second panel he's on the right side and she's on the left side, so I feel like it would have been better if I'd switched it, and it would have made it a little bit better, a little bit more clear where their positioning is, because it goes he's on the left, she's on the right, and then it goes he's on the right, she's on the left, and then on the bottom frame, right, it goes back to him on the left and her on the right, and I feel like that's a little bit confusing. I fucked up the readability there, but that's fine. I can still go back and flip it digitally, which I might do, you guys. But yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just feel like after the fact, I just realized I was making a lot of mistakes. But you know what I think that I did do better this time around, that I feel like I fucking suck at all the time, is I did much better when it came to the goddamn text bubbles. And you know why the text bubbles are better, you guys? It's because I downloaded some brushes to do text bubbles. And I was like, fuck, yes, this is so much easier. It was so hard before when I had to draw them by hand. But I downloaded like 2 different packs of text bubbles, and I was like, this is so much better. Like, they don't typically, like, they don't 100% fit. I feel like they might be off a little bit, like the shape of them or whatever. And so I did have to like cut down the dialogue a little bit for the second frame of the comic. But other than that, I'm like, this is good. This is much better. It's so much easier to do it this way. I don't know why I didn't download these before, but I wish I knew what the lady's name was. But they were a free download. If I can look it up and remember what the lady's name is, or what the pack is called, I will put it up for you guys. Because if you want to get into comics, I would say, just get the speech bubble pack. It's so much easier, you guys. And I'm sure like that's like a lazy way to do it, but if you're gonna be making comics for like a long time and you like try to save time, brushes are so helpful for that. So yeah, here we are basically at the end of the video, you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you in the next one.